people kind of filter in and everything like that. But want to get everybody going, that reward everybody for showing up on time, you know? Love
Good
to
morning,
see
everybody. I had to unmute myself.
it. Good
Hey,
morning.
Pam.
I love that. Is that seafoam green, that color of your
That is a
wall?
sagey green.
AG. Okay. Right. A little darker than seafoam,
It's
maybe.
been here so long, it's coming back in style, which I
I'm
love.
a fan. I'm a fan.
There
Thank
you
you.
go. All right. So yeah, we'll get started. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about
Press. I
farming.
can record it, I think.
I already hit record.
Okay. You're the boss.
Um, and so yeah, farming, which I mean, we'll start with a raise of hands. Does everyone know what farming neighborhoods is? I guess if your camera's not on, you can't raise your hand, but I guess that's the disadvantage of not showing us your beautiful faces this morning. All right, so yeah, so farming neighborhoods has recently become super popular, especially with the difficulties in the market and the just crazy ups and downs lately over the past couple of years. So we're gonna show you guys exactly how to farm neighborhoods right within all the tools that Remax has to offer for you. For some reason, my buttons do not work to change the slides. It's very strange. Must be a Google thing. So, of course, we always like to go over our objectives just to make sure we're hitting all the key points. And so we just want you guys to understand the value and purpose behind farming neighborhoods, develop a better understanding of how to use the tools that you already have right at your fingertips to do that, and how to properly incorporate it into your personal marketing plan that makes the most sense for you. And then what are your goals? So you can have a variety of different goals for this. You can just be increasing exposure and awareness for yourself, or even for a property that you're listing. You can contact new prospects, or just generate awareness that you are a real estate agent and in the business. And then some of the benefits of farming. So you're making connections within the community with people that you might not necessarily have ever made a connection with before. This also allows you to diversify and expand your network. So that creates different demographics within your community that you can begin to start reaching that in other ways you might not be able to. And then you can just promote your business in simple and subtle ways without, just cramming yourself down people's throats and feeling forceful. And then it also creates the opportunity to maintain current relationships that you already have, and can just be a nice friendly reminder that you're, in the real estate business. All right, so what are some top areas to start off with farming? So your own neighborhood would be a great way to just even kind of do a test or see how people are reciprocating your kind of, postcards or whatever you decide you want to mail out to them. You can get that feedback from your own neighbors. And also, again, just a friendly reminder that you're in real estate. You could send some to your family and friends' neighborhoods as well, not just your own. A big one is neighborhoods that you've sold a listing in within the past year. New communities that you're trying to market yourself in. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get into certain areas. And so this is kind of an opening to getting into new communities, areas that you frequently visit or show homes in, but might not necessarily live close to, or neighborhoods that are local to your office's location. So getting the data. So again, there is a lot of different ways in Megaphone that you can do these different types of searches. So each one creates a recipient list. And so you can do searches by radius, which allows you to search within a specific street or, you know, a 5-mile radius of a street, an area code, or anything like that. You can do a street search where you can target a specific street that you're looking at. And then you can do a polygon search, which allows you to draw, as you can see down here, draw in a specific community that you want to target. And then there's an absentee owner search, which allows you to search and target a specific property address that you may not know anything about, or who owns it or anything like that. So then there's where you can specify. So again, this is really helpful if you're doing a polygon search where, you know, it might be a 15-mile radius or an entire, you know, zip code, but you want to really target specific home values or the income of which the homeowners, you know, make, whether they're an owner or a renter, single family homes or multifamily homes. The demographic section allows you to really just target specifics that you're looking for. So that's another great feature within, right within Megaphone. Looks like I didn't change the title, guys. Don't look at the title. So this is also for listing packages that you have in your in Megaphone. So how many of you have like done a listing and gotten that email that says your listing package is ready, and you can download it right from that email? So another feature within that, which me and Kathy recently discovered, was that there is jumbo postcards right in there, and they actually automatically farm the neighborhood for you. So based off that new listings property address, it's a couple clicks and you can send out 100, 500, you know, 50 postcards to that area, letting, you know, people in the area know that you just listed that home for sale. Maybe theirs could be next, or you can wait until it's sold and just do some quick couple changes in there that says just sold instead of just listed. And again, it'll farm that neighborhood for you automatically with a few clicks. All right, so getting started, on the right, you'll see a couple options for the front and the back of a postcard. And so to get started with farming neighborhoods, you're going to want to first access Megaphone. And the main type that I do see a lot of people using for postcard or for farming neighborhoods is postcards. And Megaphone makes it super easy to get in there and create those. So we're going to do a quick tutorial on that. Okay, so can everyone see my screen? All right. So once you log into Mac Center, you're going to want to go into advertise, and that's going to take you directly into Megaphone. And so once you're in there, I will show you if you're trying to promote a listing that is already in here. We'll just use this one for example. You would see that your listing package is right here in Megaphone if you needed to access any of those materials. And then if you have the jumbo postcard and you click start, it automatically pulls all the information and creates that for you. So you'll see down here where it says print, edit, and order features currently available for listing agents only. So I'm in looking at all of our offices listings. So I don't actually have access to order these or edit them on your guys' behalf, but as agents you do. And so you would just, if you wanted to edit anything, you would click edit. If you're like, okay, that's perfect, good to go, hit order prints. That's when the screen will pop up and say, you know, how many do you want to mail? And it'll already have targeted that radius for you. So that's one way to farm a neighborhood. And then another way would be to just create your own content. And so you would go into printable content. and then click content and postcards. And so you can see they have so many varieties in here, just sold. But again, there's also times where you might want to just market yourself. So we will do a postcard on why you might want to choose Remax. And then, so it auto pulls all your information directly from your Max Center profile, which again is super important to make sure it's accurate in there. Let's see how much it'll make me type. So now if it was a specific listing, you could pull it from that listing's photos, or you can upload your own. We will just use this for testing purposes, even though that is not a picture of Alex. All right. So yeah, it says low resolution warning because it's not Alex. We'll continue anyway. For the most part, this stuff is made super easy. So I always suggest downloading your PDF and printing it first. So definitely print it off and make sure that, you know, the way that it's printing and everything that you want is aligned before you approve it for ordering. So that just ensures, you know, that not only do you have everything good to go as far as like facts and everything, but that your pictures, even though they might say low resolution, they might not need to be fixed, or they may need to be fixed even if they don't say low resolution. All right, so now we can see that these are in my cart. And now we're gonna go to mailing info. And so this is where you can do the farming. And so you can decide exactly how you want them to be mailed. So please mail my order. That means they take care of everything for you. Please mail my order and ship some to me. That means they're going to ship you a couple copies that you might want to keep on hand, or just so you know exactly what is being sent out. You can also have them sent to you if you like to personally handwrite every address and person's name out. And then you can pick your shipping, which of course is going to increase or decrease the price depending on how soon you want it out there, 3 to 5 days or 5 to 10. You can have them send a copy of your order to your email for you too for free. And then here is the part where we get into the farming. So you can create a mailing list that you might already have or might use more than once, or you can upload a list directly. If you already have all your addresses in a CSV file, you can upload that right there and have them mail them for you, or you can do a radius search. So again, I guess that was my home. Sure, we'll go with my my parents' home address. All right, and then we're gonna hit update. And then you can choose right here how many pieces you want to mail out. So if I wanted 100 for this, it would be $77.52 to be created, mailed, shipped, everything. So then say that we wanted to really dive into the who we were targeting. That's kind of just like a basic if you want to do it just based off of a specific address. But if we wanted to go into really honing in on those different types of searches, we would go into get data. And so here's where we can do that. And so for a radius, we could say 10 miles. And so it would show me a circle of exactly a 10-mile radius around our office. And now we could definitely do it a different way if you just wanted to do the zip code in your state or the city, whatever you might prefer. And then you can choose, do you want homes, apartments, PO boxes? So probably not PO boxes. And then it'll show you right here what zip code. Okay. And then you're going to go to next, and it tells you 41,000 or 40,000 leads are within that radius. I wish to order all records available. I don't suggest that, but maybe you just want 150.
Megan, how does it limit it then? Does it just, since you had a 10-mile radius,
Did you mute Mr. John?
since you had a 10-mile radius, can you, and you say you only want 150 of that 40,000, is it just going to pull that radius in?
Yeah, so you can definitely add more. So you can kind of, it'll show you, break it down by different streets.
Okay. How many? I see.
Yep, exactly how many. So maybe, you know, you just want to do like one street here, one street here, and then maybe
Lots of
you know,
flexibility. Yeah.
yep. And then you can, you know, really go and look up these streets, or if you have specific streets that you want done, and even though they're spread apart, you can do that as well. But in order to not, this is how you can do that, where, you know, I can pick one street all the way over here and one street all the way over here without having to do two different orders. But again, I still have to pull that whole radius around it and then put those streets or pick those streets specifically.
When you go back to select list quantity, like press that. Okay, right next to the right there of the records, which says 150 records, there's a little button that says update.
There we go. This is so old school.
Oh yeah.
Looking at least. There we go. All right. Oh, we got to give it a name.
And again, it's going to depend on what type of piece that you're sending out. If it's a just listed or just sold, you're probably going to want it to be right in that neighborhood that you just listed or just sold, because then people will be like, ah, this person knows the area. If it's just more of a broad one, then you can hit neighborhoods that you're attracted to or that you are familiar with.
Yes, exactly. So now we can go back into contacts and leads. Oh, well, we might have to give that one a couple minutes, it said. So you can also do a street search. This would be a kind of strange street as it's 140. And then you can get a little bit more into the details. It says one record. So we'll see what the one record is.
And again, for the first time, if anybody's doing this or seeing this for the first time, I highly recommend setting up some time with Megan. She'll help walk through it. And then once you know it very well. But especially in this market where we're seeing, I feel like the charges, you got to create the business. yourself, and this is a piece of it. This is how you can attempt to do that.
So yeah, so now you can see right here, that one that we created before for Westminster is right here. See if it'll give you, so it'll actually give you a list and names if you really want to get in there and be like, not that person, not that person. You can hit OK or delete all of that. That would be a lot of work, but some people are very specific about how they want to do their farming. So again, we can do a polygon search as the last one. This one's honestly probably my favorite because you can really just pick. So say I wanted to do 300, and let's edit some of the demographics. So I want homes that are 400,000 and above. So we're just going to check all these little boxes, and it can be either or for the rest. All right, so now I can zoom in and really see. So like right off of 140, probably not going to be too many homes right there, but I do know that there is a big neighborhood around here. And so you can really go in and draw. Now say you wanted, this street, but not the animal hospital. You can just kind of do it your own way. So then I would just click search, and it says that there's 29 addresses that fit that. So I might come back here and click any, because that didn't really give me a ton.
Megan, I didn't see it. Does it give you an opportunity to just use subdivision if you know the subdivision, the name of it?
That's a good question. Like the name of like a neighborhood?
Yeah.
I guess you could. Does anyone know any around here? Let's try it.
It's a good local subdivision there, George.
I don't know too many out here.
You asked the question and you didn't even have one on hand.
I can give you one around Baltimore.
All right, that's fine. Give it to me.
What do you got?
Academy Heights. Yeah, it looks like it's, see, there it is, Kate.
So?
There's about
Okay,
400
so yeah.
homes there.
Yeah, so it looks perfect example, Mr. George. So again, I'm assuming that Academy Heights is a lot of houses in a small area. And so that's a great way for you to target a lot of people within a radius. Again, that's Catonsville, probably a lot less spread out than out here. But again, everyone has different dynamics of who they're farming to. And so you can definitely adjust or search neighborhoods, which is cool. So you can draw it either which way, which is really nice. And if you know the specific neighborhood that, there might be apartments right here that you don't want in your search, you can, drag it in a little bit. So you're really able to target the people who you truly feel are gonna receive this the best.
With the goal of being as efficient as possible, right?
Yeah. So then you're gonna hit import. So it's creating a new list. Import this list based off your polygon search. Again, Catonsville.
You're a fantastic typer under pressure when everybody can see what you're typing. It's a nerve-wracking thing for me,
I took a keyboarding class in high school. That was one of the first, whenever you got to like pick your classes, one of the first ones my mom made me take was keyboarding, and they put these giant black masks over your keyboard, and all you did was sit there for 2 hours every day and type nonsense.
Wow.
But it did help.
Apparently.
Imagine that with a typewriter that you had to go bing for the return. Bing.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one. I can't
So
even
what-
imagine like making a typo and having to just take the whole thing out. I would just give up and handwrite
There
it out.
has to be somebody else in this class as old as me who remembers the return and bing.
I
Thank
do.
you,
Right,
George.
and
I
And
write
see
down.
you
actually,
nodding.
you know what, when back in the applied for a job on Cap, you had to take a typing test.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
What was the job for?
When you worked on Capitol Hill,
Oh, right.
through the House Placement Office, they would, or Senate, they would require you to take a typing test regardless of the position.
Yeah, that was any government. I remember I got so excited because I did 48 words a minute.
How
That
about
was good.
shorthand? I could do shorthand.
I want a stenographer to follow me around and just kind of like do the notes for me or something like that.
All day, every day.
Yep.
And then you can say, no, that's off the record.
Strike that from the record.
Yeah, take that one out.
That used to be
So yeah, so you can have multiple different lists. These lists are pretty great, especially just to kind of have and keep on file. Now, this isn't, let's see if any do provide emails in case you wanted to farm. Yeah. So emails are usually hard to get.
Yeah, not as available in the
Yep.
public information sphere.
Just wanted to see. Okay. So again, though, you can go in and go through and see the recipients that are on this list. And even if it is, addresses or streets or whatever it might be that you don't want, you can delete or just leave it the way it is. So once you are, you have your lists and you're ready, you can do this in, two separate ways, which is what I suggest. But then if you go back to your cart where you had created that template of, that we're going to mail out of Alex being a dog to Catonsville that George suggested. So you can go right back into your mailing info because again, that's right in your cart. And then you can select how would you like my list mailed? And you can go right to your mailing lists and they're all going to be right in here. So now I decided instead of just doing a quick radius search, which we did when we created the template, I'm going to do this one that I really honed in on.
And that's a good point. Kathy said, if you just download the list or download the file, you can send it to the email list that you may already have. That's a pretty cool feature of what Megaphone has to offer. You can always download the image or download the PDF. You can send it to your favorite printer if you use HighStar. I'm down here in Fulton and a lot of people like them. So if you don't want to go through all this process, you can at least have the really nice piece of content and use different avenues. But to be able to do it all through one, and it really not be too bad when you talk about unit price, 73 cents, like 2/3 of that is the postage, so.
Yeah, exactly. And you never even have to put your hands on them. They're already done, they're sent out. And that's the beauty of it all.
Mhm.
So yes, so again, so now we selected our mailing info. Oh, I might not have.
One thing too, they'll make sure to tell you if you don't have something
messed
filled
up.
out. Right.
Don't worry. Okay, so now you can get into the actual printing options of your postcard if you want it, to weigh more, gloss, matte, all of that, and the different pricings, which is nice. Some of you are fancy and want to. Apparently I messed up something on the personalized page, which probably means I didn't type enough. Let's see. Oh, that's fine.
How's everybody feeling about this product so far? Does anybody have any thoughts about it? A thumbs up? Yeah, thumbs down, sideways?
I haven't used it much on it, but it's great from the little bit I've explored with it. It's, I like Megaphone. I get a lot of leads from Megaphone. It's amazing that when your stuff goes in there, you have a listing, you get a lot of leads from it. So that comes to me via Megaphone and HomeSnap because it feeds into that. So it's a great tool. But this is good. I mean, this is stuff we all used to have to almost farm out ourselves and pay for going through another company on it. And I know one of the things we used to be taught back when I did it is there were a couple criteria. There was some criteria we used to follow. Is one, you look at the community that you're going to market in, and you look at the turnover rate. How many homes have sold in the past year or 2 years, and how many homes are there? And ideally, we would look for something that had a 10% turnover rate. And then what you did is the second thing you did is you would pull up all the sold properties in a year. And is there any one agent that controls 25% or more of that market? And if not, it's a good market to go into. That shouldn't hold you back from going into it, but that's what we used to teach back when. It was a good tool. And then also in today's world, you have so many more modern tools that you can check, see who's lived there for a long period of time. Because somebody that just moved in there a year ago may not be the ideal candidate that you want to mail to, but somebody that's been there, like Academy Heights, I know very well because I lived there for almost 20 years. And you've got people that have lived there 30 years and they may be ready to sell now, even if they've been living there 7 years, because they're smaller homes, they're row homes, townhomes, as we call them today. And the benefit of a community like that, to me, whenever I was marketing, I would think of it as not only are they selling, but they're upgrading, they're moving to a larger home. So if it's a younger couple, they're selling because they now have a couple kids and they want a home with a larger yard, a 2-car garage. So you've got 2 sales in that way of thinking.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right.
Also in this market, it's so many people are on the fence about moving. And I think that if you have the opportunity to send like a just sold to a community, I think that they're more apt to jump off the fence and call you, seeing what the neighbor's house just sold for. And I was just thinking about sending out some just sold. So this is very timely. I also noticed, Megan, that you can upload a new list from, say, my CRM top producer. I can upload a particular list if I wanted to include my CRMs to that.
Yeah. And you can definitely, I'm pretty sure you can probably even do both. Let's see. So like, say you had, certain amount of buyers that you would put in your hot category and you wanted to target them as well as, a specific area that you had just sold in. I'm sure you can do this and then upload a list. I don't have a list, so, but I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. You just would definitely want to make sure that you have all the information correct. And then once that list is imported, you go back and double check and make sure that, the addresses are right. I'd hate for you guys to, CSVs are so tricky for some reason. I don't get it, but they are. But yeah, if you have a list of, certain people, that's a great idea to add them in as well, just so they, you're building your confidence with them. And again, you're targeting 2 different areas with new clients in that area you just sold in, but also clients that you are building relationships with. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and as Kathy was mentioning, she's been working with I think it's Brenda down in Seaford, and They made a postcard with two pieces, two properties that just sold in an effort to do what you're talking about, Ms. Pam, get people off that fence, and anything you can do to remind them, hey, this is actually the best time to sell your house. Rates are going to continue to move up. People are going to get a little shaky. So now's the time.
Right.
People are still getting top dollar. People are still paying over list price. I think nationally we're seeing, from what Remax has been telling us, the list price and the sales price starting to converge a little bit more. Used to be like 110, 120%. Now they're seeing on a broader scale like 105, 103%. But I think our area is still a bit higher because we're more competitive than most of the nation. But it's good for buyers. That'll be good for buyers, I think, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So then if you just check out, I'm glad this is working. Yesterday it was giving me such a hard time. So you would just fill in your billing address. We're obviously not going to actually order these. Could you imagine?
Wow, that's a great stat, Mr. John. So mailers to a neighborhood without a personal touch, 1 to 3% capture rate. And that logically makes sense because I get mailers and, I throw them away. I mean, they're almost made to be thrown away, but having that follow up, I mean, it's almost the excuse that, hey, did you get my mail? Oh yeah, I saw that. That was nice. Anyway, let's have a consultation. Goes up to 25%. It's exponential, that's insane. So
Yes, absolutely.
It keeps your name out there. It keeps your name and your face out there so people know who you are. And we're going to be getting back into that where you have to do that. I mean, clients don't just fall from the sky. You got to go out there and find them. And this is one of the ways that you do it. It just keeps your name out there, and you decide how frequently you want to do it. And just understand, this doesn't happen overnight. It's like anything with marketing. Megan knows as well as anybody. It's persistence. Stay on it.
Yeah, it's a lot of persistence and a lot of trial and error, just because everyone's sphere is so different. We're all individuals and we're all different. So that means our groups and our people that surround us are going to be different. So yeah, it's it could work great for certain people and not for others. But again, it's the trial and error, the continuing, if that you don't feel like that was worth the money or you didn't get the return on it, then move on to another way of hitting them. Maybe it's email until you decide to try a different approach. It could be phone calls, it could be text messages. Like I said, everybody's sphere is different, so everybody's reception of how they receive information is going to be different.
And it's putting some of this stuff into practice. Like Megan's saying, there's a lot of options and people can sometimes be overwhelmed with all of that. But picking something, doing it, following through, having some level of consistency to it, and see how it works and keep it moving. But don't be too shy with it. We're at a spot right now where it's very, very interesting in all levels of markets. So some of this old school stuff I think is always going to be valuable. Do people have any questions? Did this seem like something that was doable? Do you want to, I think anybody that wants to should definitely set up some time with Megan to go through it and toy around with it. But the goal of these tools that Remax has been redeveloping is to make it as easy as possible. That way you all aren't out there like having to design flyers and business and cards and stuff like that. You do what you do best, and that's talk with the clients, build relationships, and all that fun stuff.
Amen. Yeah, I think that this is a great tool to add into your, bucket of all the different things you can do in marketing. And I think that, this is just one of the many tools that is in Mac Center. we would be here all day if we went through all of Mac Center. So again, it's a great way to just add another piece to getting yourself out there and staying in touch.
If you haven't been in Mac Center in a while, there are people that I've dealt with out here in Westminster that have even forgotten their sign in, which tells me they haven't been there for a while. It has changed dramatically, even in the short period of time that I've been here. There are so many tools there that will help you. There's so many training videos that are great. It's, yeah, I mean, you could be hours on there just going through and searching stuff and doing things. There's a lot of great information there.
Yeah, Remax University has some really good tools for anybody out there that likes to be a little bit more hands-on. I kind of find myself doing that. But you could search farming neighborhoods, I bet, in Remax University, and there'll be a few videos that come up. I've listened to a few podcasts and stuff of people like Nick Bailey and others talking with other big brokers, talking with other big agents. Big part of the value of Remax is this network that we have and this kind of collaboration. So sharing with each other, learning from each other. That's the goal.
That is the goal. Anyone have any other questions, comments?
Is this a value to you all? Do you see this kind of, and moving forward, because we do a tech class like this once a month, we're always open and curious about what you all are looking to learn. We have what we think, but there's also, we want to hear what you all have troubles with or have questions about. And thanks, Gina. Got a little round of applause over there from Gina. You're a pro level video meeting user. I love that.
Yeah.
I think this is a great way to remind us of things, because this market has a way of keeping us flying by the seat of our pants. And sometimes we forget to slow down and take care of these postcards, take care of these flyers, take care of these reach outs. And I would suggest considering sending to your sphere, because you never know where that next referral is coming from. So that postcard for that house that just sold across the county might be that prompt for that person to say, hey, we need to call Pam, or we need to give this to our next door neighbor. You never know where that referral is coming from next.
Absolutely.
I like how this one can do it to the sphere, because when we order postcards, we're ordering, 500 to 1,500 every time we do it. So this fine tunes it to people that already know us, which is great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And the good thing about getting referrals, especially from your sphere, more than likely you're not competing with another agent, because they're coming to you because you were highly recommended and you got that transaction. You're about 90% sure you got it. I mean, I just got one this morning from a past client, and I don't market like I used to, and I've got them. I'm not competing with another agent. It's just they called me because I was recommended, and they're mine.
Yeah, that consistent reminder of, hey, I'm a realtor, because even close friends, they'll forget and be like, oh, I should have thought of you. And now I remember that I wanted to sell something. You don't want to be that person. I found with First, the app that Remax has put out, some people don't love it because they find out that people in their phone contacts have recently just sold with somebody else. And I've said this before, I think that's great information, because that means you had them. And it's been a wild market. So a lot of you have been working, as they say, in the business and not on the business. You're reining it in a certain time, and you forget to do the things that got you there. But being consistent with the marketing, even in the springtime, especially in the springtime and all around the year, is what helps you, reap those rewards. Just like we're saying, farming, right? It has that name for a reason. You're planting seeds that you need to water and you need to take care of, so that way you can harvest them at some point. And that's the goal with that.
You mentioned First, and I can't find that. We have Colin, the new team member, and is that focused more towards new agents?
Not necessarily. So it's an app. I think if you go into Mac Center, you can find the tile for it. It's also in the App Store. I think it's called First IO, maybe.
Yeah, I can text it to you.
Or
Nancy.
Remax First. So what that does, you're able to upload all of the contacts from your phone into this application. There's a trial period, but then it also does come as a cost. I think it's like it's like 400 and change a year or something though. So when it comes to tools like that, it's on the cheap end from what I've seen, because some people can spend upwards of 1,000, 1,500 for a tool. But everybody, especially if you have a big contact list in your phone, it will rate people between 1 and 3 stars based on the likeliness of them to sell. And if you're or buy, and if they're 3 stars, then they're, I think it's something like 90% more likely than the average person to be, ready for a real estate transaction. There's some templated text messages. It opens right into your text app on your phone. That way it's coming from your number and everything like that. So it feels a lot more organic. It'll give you 5 people to touch based on your network and the stars and stuff like that. So you're able to look through all that. I found it to be really interesting.
Do you know if they do it as a team or each one of us would do individually?
It's a good question. I think it would be individual because it would be based on your own network, and you can upload contacts as well. But I bet Colin has a fair amount of contacts in his phone.
He does, but we also, I've been spending so much time with buyers, like 30 plus hours a week, and I'm missing my listings, the prospecting for listings, which I'm sure everybody as a realtor has been way too busy with the buyers lately. So I guess I'll do it and just manually feed them into him.
Yeah, that's
you can probably log in. So if you do one login account, you can log in on your phone, and then Colin on his phone can have the app and log in as well and import his contacts if you want them all in one account.
Oh, okay. So we just pretend we're one person on 2 different phones.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I don't know if there's a specific way so I would think who's who in your phone, but there's definitely
and our team is a little different. We don't assign a particular person because we always tell clients all of us are available for you, whichever one is free. So we always introduce our clients to each other. So
perfect. Then I think that's the best.
Because we're still a family team. So until we expand outside the family, that's how we personally do it.
Good. I think that'll work great then. And of course, if you guys have any questions or need any help, I'm always here to, sit down and get all that stuff done with you guys. There's also on our YouTube channel, a whole overview of it. If you want to, skim through that and make sure it's something you're interested in, we have that available. And of course, Remax University has a ton of info on First as well.
Yeah, I found it to be super valuable for people because it helps you stay a little bit more structured with your reach out. And if you dedicate literally like 5 minutes in the morning to doing 5 messages or sending out 5 messages to the 3-star people, it's something that you can see results from relatively quickly. I just sent the YouTube channel link into the chat too, because we have I want to see the subscriber number go up, but we have like 30 some videos on there from Google Business to First.
Anybody here in the group today use First?
Nobody has, huh?
No.
Interesting. Yeah, I have seen a few.
Maybe we should have a class on that.
Yeah. I'm gonna post a video too to the chat here. We had Chris Wallenetz, who has been working with myself and Megan really closely. He's with the Remax International Tech Solutions team, which is a relatively new program. But he talked about Booge, he talked about First, and gives a good initial. But yeah, definitely I think we could certainly do that again, because as we head into the the summer and everything like that. And then the fall, of course, is prime time for people to be doing their reach outs and touches and everything. So yeah, first is a good one.
Thanks. I'll probably have Colin and I sit down personally with one of you guys. In
Yeah.
the meantime,
Sounds
thanks.
good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Brandon, you don't use first at all? I know you're there. Maybe you're.
Yeah. So I have used it. I ran into an issue with my contact information because sometimes I put nicknames for my contacts. So it wasn't able to fully upload every single contact I had into my first IO. So I did run into a little issue with that.
Right, like Jimmy from the bar.
Exactly.
His info didn't come up. Right. No, I get that. My contacts go back because I have the same number since I got a cell phone. So I have some that are in there that are like so-and-so Drexel or something like that.
Exactly.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is a good way to kind of sort through too. You'll see who in your list that you probably need to just you can delete their number at some point.
Definitely do an overhaul.
Yeah, man. Cool. Well, yeah. So there are a couple people that have dabbled with it. If anybody has questions or they're running into a wall or anything like that, we're always here to help walk you through it. Don't ever shoot Megan, myself an email anytime with any question, tech related, and we got you. So
Absolutely. All right.
well, thanks for the time, everybody. Shout out to Megan. Great job. Round of applause. You're fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
She's doing a great job putting these presentations together, puts a lot of work and effort in the back end that people don't see, trying to understand these tools and working with international with all this stuff. So, and Kathy's doing the same for us down the shore. So we're here to help with this stuff. We know it's complicated and we know it's an adjustment, but that's why we have the team around you all to help support. So reach out if anybody needs anything, and I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Tuesday.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Well,
Take care, everyone.
See y'all.